The one person an avoidant bonds with forever. Most people assume avoidants are incapable of real love. They see the distance, the silence, the emotional walls, and think they just don't care. But the truth is much more complicated. Avoidants may pull away from many, refuse to commit, and appear cold. Yet when they finally bond with someone at the deepest level, that connection is unlike anything else. They may only ever allow one person to reach that part of their soul, and when it happens, it never leaves. In this video, we're going to explore what it means to be that one person an avoidant bonds with forever, the psychology behind it, the signs, and the unshakable reality of this rare connection. Avoidants aren't heartless. In fact, they're often more sensitive than they appear. But because of early life experiences, neglect, inconsistent love, rejection, or abandonment, they learn to protect themselves through distance. They shut down emotions. They build walls. They push people away. Vulnerability feels dangerous, so they minimize closeness and convince themselves they don't need anyone. That's why most of their relationships stay shallow, unstable, or detached. They never truly allow themselves to attach. But here's the paradox. While avoidants run from intimacy, deep down they secretly crave it. They long to be seen, understood, and safe in someone's arms. They just don't believe it's possible. Until one day, they meet someone who changes everything. The one who breaks through. Every avoidant eventually meets someone who bypasses their walls. This person doesn't chase them. They don't try to control them or force them into vulnerability. Instead, they accept them, and in that acceptance, something awakens inside the avoidant. It feels terrifying, but also magnetic. For the first time, they sense that maybe love can exist without pressure, without danger. This is how the lifelong bond begins, because for avoidants, trust is the rarest currency. They don't hand it out easily, and once it's given, it's almost impossible to take back. Even if the relationship ends, even if years pass, that one person remains etched into their heart. Avoidants don't bond often, but when they do, they bond deeply. Signs you're the one. If you've ever been that person for an avoidant, you may already feel it in your bones. The signs are rarely loud or obvious, but they run deep. One of the strongest signs is when they allow themselves to be vulnerable with you. Avoidants usually hide their emotions, even from people they're close to. But if you've witnessed them break down, admit fears, or show sides of themselves they've hidden from the rest of the world, that is not casual. It is profound. Another sign is that, no matter how much distance they create, they never fully let you go. An avoidant may disappear for months or even years, but when they reappear, it often feels like no time has passed. They may not reach out often, but when they do, it's because you occupy a place in their inner world that no one else has touched. This is not indifference. It's proof of a bond they cannot erase. You'll also notice that despite all their defenses, they respond differently to you than to anyone else. Their guard may still rise, but in your presence it softens in ways that might surprise even them. They remember small things about you, carry your influence with them, and hold on to your presence in their life, even when it seems like they've moved on. For the avoidant, these quiet gestures reveal more than words ever could. Why they struggle to move on. Unlike others who eventually detach and move forward, avoidants rarely let go of the one person they've bonded with forever. They may date others, they may even marry, but in the quiet corners of their heart, that bond still exists. It lingers like a ghost, not always visible, but always present. And if life ever brings you back together, the connection often reignites instantly. Time, distance, silence, none of it erases the imprint you left. While others can cycle through relationships and eventually let go, avoidants carry their one deep bond for life. What it takes to be the one. So, what does it take to become the one person an avoidant bonds with forever? It isn't about perfection or chasing them endlessly. It isn't about playing games or trying to break down their walls with force. It's about embodying qualities that make them feel safe, accepted, and free to be themselves. When you can give them patience, they learn that not every relationship demands immediate closeness. When you remain emotionally steady, they discover that intimacy doesn't always lead to chaos. When you respect their need for space, they realize they don't have to fight for autonomy or fear losing themselves. And when you refuse to play games, they finally learn what it feels like to trust. In short, avoidants bond with the person who gives them peace. They don't attach to drama, intensity, or passion that burns too brightly. Those things only reinforce their fears. They bond with the person whose presence feels like safety, someone who doesn't demand, but simply allows, someone who feels like home. The reality of loving an avoidant. But let's be honest, being the one person an avoidant bonds with forever doesn't mean the relationship is easy. It often comes with push and pull, closeness followed by withdrawal, moments of warmth shadowed by silence. You may feel confused, hurt, or rejected at times, but beneath all of that turbulence lies a bond that remains unshakable. Avoidants may run, but emotionally, they always circle back. Deep down, they know the truth. You are their anchor, their one irreplaceable connection. How avoidants truly love. So, can avoidants truly love for life? The answer is yes, but their love doesn't always look like what you'd expect. They may not flood you with affection or words of reassurance. They may not always be present in the way you want them to be. But their love reveals itself in quieter, deeper ways. You'll see it in their loyalty, in the way they keep your memory alive long after others have forgotten. In the way they show up for you during the moments that matter most, even if they've been absent for months. Their love lives in their actions more than in their words. It's subtle, but it's enduring. What makes this kind of love powerful is its persistence. An avoidant may not express it openly, but they carry you with them everywhere. They hold on to the smallest details, the unspoken moments, the essence of who you are. And no matter how far they run, no matter how silent they become, there's an invisible thread tying them back to you. That thread doesn't fade with time. It doesn't break with distance. It remains quietly and unshakably for life. The invisible thread. If you are the one person an avoidant has bonded with forever, understand that it's not about what you did. It's about who you are. You touched a part of them no one else could reach. You represented safety in a world that felt threatening. And once they've experienced that, they can never unfeel it. Even if they never say the words, even if they disappear, you'll feel it in the way they never truly let you go. That invisible thread between you is proof of a bond that is rare, unshakable, and lasting. That's the power of being the one person an avoidant bonds with forever. It doesn't fade. It doesn't break. It lasts a lifetime.